الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Greetings of peace, mercy, and blessings, everyone. Thank you for watching Alhambra Studio Foundation. I'm your host, Aziz Life 360. Recently watching all this daily news stories of never-ending troubles, hardship, misery, and violence across the Arab world and Central Asia, it is not surprising that many in the West view the culture of these countries as backward and their religion as, at best, conservative and often as violent and extremist. I am, however, on a mission to dismiss a crude and inaccurate historical hegemony and present the positive face not only of Islam but also of the Arabic language. It has never been more timely or more resonant to explore the extent to which Western cultural and scientific thought is actually indebted to the work 1,000 years ago of Arab and Muslim thinkers and scientists. What is remarkable, for instance, is that for over 700 years, the international language of science was Arabic, which is why I describe it as Arabic science. More surprising, maybe, is the fact that one of the most fertile periods of scholarship and scientific progress in history would not have taken place without the spread of Islam across the Middle East, Persia, North Africa, and Spain. Western scholars have confessed to the strong nostalgic motives for their fascination in the history of the Arabic science. If there is anything I truly believe, it is that progress through reason and rationality is a good thing. Knowledge and enlightenment are always better than ignorance. I proudly share my worldview with one of the greatest rulers the Islamic world has ever seen, the 9th century, the Abbasid Caliph of Baghdad, Abu Ja'far Abdullah, better known as Al-Ma'mun. Many in the West will know something of Ma'mun's more illustrious father, Harun al-Rashid, the Caliph who is a central character in so many of the stories of the Arabian Nights. But it was Ma'mun who came to power in 813 Christian era, who was to truly launch the golden age of the Arabic science. His lifelong thirst for knowledge was such an obsession that he was to create in Baghdad the greatest center of learning the world has ever seen, known throughout history simply as Baytul Hikmah, or the House of Wisdom. We read in most accounts of the history of science that the contribution of the ancient Greeks would not be matched until the European Renaissance and the arrival of the likes of Copernicus and Galileo in the 16th century. The 1,000-year period sandwiched between the two is dismissed as the Dark Ages. But the scientists and philosophers whom Ma'mun brought together and whom he entrusted with his dreams of scholarship and wisdom sparked a period of scientific achievement that was just as important as the Greeks or Renaissance. And we can't simply project the European Dark Ages on to the rest of the world. Of course, some of the Islamic scholars are well known in the West. The Persian philosopher Avicenna, Ibn Sina, was born in 980 Christian era, is famous as the greatest physician of the Middle Ages. His canon of medicine, al-Qanun, was to remain the standard medical text in the Islamic world and across Europe until the 17th century, a period of more than 600 years. But Avicenna was also undoubtedly the greatest philosopher of Islam and one of the most important of all time. Avicenna's work stands as the pinnacle of the medieval philosophy. But Avicenna was not the greatest scientist in Islam, for he did not have the encyclopedic mind or make the breadth of impact across so many fields as a less famous Persian who seems to have lived in his shadow, Abu Rayhan al-Biruni. Not only did al-Biruni make significant breakthroughs as a brilliant philosopher, mathematician, and astronomer, but he also left his mark as a theologian, encyclopedist, linguist, historian, geographer, pharmacist, and a physician. He is also considered to be the father of geology and anthropology. The only other figure in history whose legacy rivals the scope of his scholarship would be Leonardo da Vinci. And yet, Biruni is hardly known in the Western world. Many of the achievements of Arab science often come as a surprise. For instance, while no one can doubt the genius of Copernicus and his heliocentric model of the solar system in heralding the age of modern astronomy, it is not common known that he relied on work carried out by Arab astronomers many centuries earlier. Many of his diagrams and calculations were taken from manuscripts of the 14th century Syrian astronomer Ibn Shatir. Ibn Shatir. Why is he never mentioned in our textbooks? Likewise, the majority are taught that the English physician William Harvey was the first to correctly describe blood circulation in 1616. Actually, he was not. The first to give the correct description was the 13th century Andalusian physician Ibn al-Nafis. Ibn al-Nafis. But you don't or you won't hear of his name. Since our aim is to inspire growth, nurturing education built on a sacred foundation, we dedicate this space of lectures to serve as a library of Islamic knowledge with the intent to cover Islamic history up to current crises. We often overlook Islamic history as a learning tool. The history of Islam is not only important for Muslims, but important for everyone. Islam and the people who call themselves Muslims have made an enormous impact on our world. This space is about discovering that history in a fun and interesting way. It was dedicated as such to those who want to research, study, or understand the rich history of Islam and the numerous aspects of Islam. It's also an attempt to introduce Islam to the general public. And we will not hesitate as well to dispel erroneous stereotypes and misconceptions about the religion that is rife nowadays. Alhambra Studio Foundation also offers quality education to nurture the heart, mind, body, and soul. The how for those who understand why, and the why for those who need to understand the reason. We will be starting an extensive Arabic classes next month, inshallah, mainly for kids, but also beneficial for adults and those whose native languages are other than the Arabic language. Stay tuned for updates. Till then, في أمان الله ورعايته Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Greetings of peace, mercy, and blessings, everyone.